Hello, my name is CarmelHauckT. My student number is T00701793. I am doing my IM injection on a feline today. These are our pre-med drugs. So I have hydro, I have acepromazine, and I have glyco. So I have already ensured that all of my meds are not expired. I've checked that they are good to use, so we are using them for today. So I'm going to draw them up into 3 separate insulin syringes, and then I'm going to combine them in a 1 cc with a 25 gauge for the actual post of the injection. So I'm going to start by alcoholing the top of my glyco here. And then I'm going to open my first syringe. So for glyco, I need 0.17 of a mil, which is 17 units on my insulin syringe. And I will try to show you my 17 units on a syringe. And I'm going to label that, so that is going to get a G for glyco, and then a T for our cat's name, which is Tucker. Alright, so that was the glyco. Now we're doing the acepromazine. I'm going to be doing 0.01 mils of the acepromazine, which is just 1 unit today on the syringe. So on a different corner, I'm going to alcohol swab off the top. And there is just a tiny 1 unit draw up there. Okay, so again, I'm going to label it T for tuck and A for acepromazine. And that is the label on the syringe. And finally, I have my hydromorphone, so that's in an ampule. And it is 0.17 mils again of the hydro. Alright, so that is 17 units. And again, I'm writing T for tuck and H for hydro. So now I have all of my 3 syringes. I'm going to combine them into 1. So I'm going to take my needle off, and I'm going to put some air into the syringe. And then I'm going to put in my meds. Alright, and then I'm going to put a new needle on this syringe for the pre-med. Alright, and then I'm going to label it, so tuck, pre-med. And then today's date is October the 3rd. And that is a close-up of my syringe.
Focus. Let's just focus it out there.
And then this is a close-up of my label. Okay, so So I'm going to put my meds back where they belong, take all my garbage, and then I have my shirts, garbage and the garbage, shirts in the shirts, and then our meds just all go together over here. Okay, so this is my feline. I'm going to be doing an Apaxial IM injection. This is my clinic mentor, Julie, and Lisa is a little assisting. So we have our kitty cat in sternal. We've half towel wrapped the front just for fear-free handling. It's not a gabapentin cat or anything today, so this is our pre-medication. So to find my landmarks, I'm going along the spine and finding that dorsal spinous process. And then I'm also finding the wings of the ilium. And I'm kind of going in the middle of those two landmarks. So I've got one finger on the dorsal of the spine and then one near the ilium. And I'm aiming for right there to poke into the muscle. So I'm going to prepare my syringe on the table here. I have a 1 cc with a 25 gauge needle on it. And then I'm going to, once again, find the area I'm happy to poke in. I'm going to take my needle with the bevel up. I'm going in at a 45-degree angle, drawing back to check for air or blood, and then I'm injecting into that muscle. And I'm just going to rub that area a little bit for the patient's comfort. So today I'm going to be doing my IM Apaxial injection on a canine. So today we are using hydromorphone and acepromazine. So I'm going to draw them up in two separate syringes, then combine them into one. So I have two 1 cc syringes with 25 gauge needles. I have my medications here. So this is my acepromazine. And I have checked the label, it is not expired. And then I have my hydromorphone as well. And the dating on that is also good. So I will begin with my needle and syringe. And then I'm going to alcohol off the top of my acepromazine. And I need 0.22 mils of acepromazine today. Okay, so this is my syringe with 0.22 mils of acepromazine. And I'm going to label it, so his name is Teddy. And for now, I'm just going to put an A for acepromazine. That is my labeled syringe. And then I'm going to do my hydro next. So my second syringe. And then I will clean off the top of my hydro. And I need 0.44 mils of hydro. So that is my syringe with 0.44 mils. And I'm going to label it as well. So on this one, I'm going to write Teddy. And this will be his pre-med and the date, so October the 5th. And now I'm going to combine them into one syringe. So I'm going to put some air into this syringe with my hydro. Take off my needle. And then I'm going to put my acepromazine into that syringe. And then I'm going to put on a new needle as well. Alright, so that is my prepared and labeled pre-med. And we can inject. Okay, so to clean up my garbage, I'm going to take my syringe off. I'll put my drugs back away. Alcohol, garbage, and my shirt. Alright, so today we are doing our IM injection on a canine patient today. This is Teddy. He is on trazodone. He is a nervous caution, but he lets us get what we need to be done with trazodone, as we are going to give him his IM injection over his apathial today. So I'm finding my landmarks. I've got my dorsal spinal process that I'm following down. He's a little crooked, but I'm finding his ilium, and then I am keeping my hands on both those landmarks, and I'll be poking in between where this apathial muscle is. So I'm going to get my syringe ready to the side that we did earlier. And then again, one more time, I'm going to make sure I have my landmark. And with my bevel up, I'm going to inject at a 45-degree angle. And I'm going to draw back to look for air or blood. And then inject. And then I'm going to massage that area for his comfort. And he's ready for his procedure. Okay, so I will be doing my sub-Q injection on a feline patient in a moment here. This is just a demo. I am only going to be injecting saline today under the skin. So this is the vial I am drawing up from. It is just sterile diluent. There should be about 1 ml of fluid in here, so I'm going to draw it up into a syringe. I'm only going to draw up half of a cc, so 0.5 mils. So I've chosen a 1 cc syringe with a 25 gauge needle. And then I'm going to alcohol swab off the top of my vial. And I have checked the expiry date. It is within usable time. So I am going to insert into my vial. And I am going to draw up 0.5 mils. And then I'm going to recap my needle. Draw back, and I'm going to change to a new needle for the actual injection. And then I'm going to label it. So the feline's name is Mr. B. So I'm going to write Mr. B and saline. So that is my 0.5 ml draw. And then this is the mark on the label. I'm going to save my injection to the side, and then I'm going to clean up while I'm waiting for my cat. So garbage in the garbage. I'm going to put my sharps into the sharp bin. And then alcohol goes back. So I am here to do my sub-Q injection on a feline today. So I have my clinic mentors, Roberta and Brenda. And then I have Mr. Biggs, who is here as a demo. We're just doing saline on him today. So I have my syringe from the first video. So I'm just going to put it on the table ready to the side. So I'm going to reach over. We're going to do it over his left hind leg today. So I'm going to pinch into my skin, and then I'm going to inject into that skin tent right there. So with my bevel up on my syringe, I'm going to inject into the sub-Q space. Draw back, and I don't have any air, and then I'm going to inject under the skin. Perfect. Draw back, and I am going to just rub that area a bit for his comfort. Okay, so I'm going to be doing my sub-Q injection on a canine patient today. This is Tia. She's coming in for a cytopoint injection. So I'm going to draw it up, and then we will inject it. So I have her vial of cytopoint, so I will give you a close-up.
Turn the vial a little bit. Yep, perfect.
And I've ensured that it's not expired, so we can use it on her today. So I have a 3 cc syringe with a 22 gauge needle to draw up, and then I will change to a 25 gauge needle to inject. So I will get my needle out, and then I'm going to alcohol swab the top. So there is about 1 ml of liquid in our cytopoint vial, and she will get the whole vial. All right, then I'm going to switch my needle. And then I will label the syringe. So this is Tia, and we are injecting cytopoint. So this is my syringe drawn up to 1 ml. And this is my label that just says Tia Cytopoint. Okay, so we are doing our sub-Q injection. This is Brenda, my clinic mentor, with Tia. So I'm going to prepare my needle on the table beside me. And I'm going to be injecting over her scruf today. So I'm pinching just over her dorsal line of her body. And I'm getting a bit of a skin tent there with my fingers so that I can inject into the sub-Q space underneath it. So with my bevel up, I am injecting into that sub-Q space. I am drawing back to check for air or blood, which I don't have. And then I am injecting underneath the skin. And then I will withdraw my needle and I'll just massage that area a bit for her. And then as a cleanup, I'm going to recap my needle. This is all garbage. And then my needles are going in shirts. Okay, so today I'm doing my IM injection on a feline patient today. So I'm going to get my drugs ready for my pre-med. So today I am using buprenorphine, Dexdom, and ketamine. So I'll draw them up in 3 separate insulin syringes, and then I will combine them into a 1 cc with a 25 gauge needle on it. So to begin, I will take out my syringe, and then I'm going to alcohol swab off the top of my buprenorphine. And this one does have to be shaken before drawing up. And it is 0.14 mils, which is 14 units on my syringe. And then I will label it. So the cat's name starts with an M, so I'm just going to put an M, and then a B for buprenorphine. So that is my syringe with 14 units. And then I will do my next one. So on another corner here, I will alcohol off my ketamine. And again, this is 0.14 mils. And I will label it with a M for the cat's name and K for the ketamine. And that is the syringe with 14 units. And finally, I have my Dexdom. And this one is also 0.14 mils. So an M and a D. All right, so now I will mix all 3 into my 1 cc syringe. So I will set the needle aside, put some air into my syringe, and then I am going to inject my meds. And then I'll put my syringe back on, get the bubbles out, and then I will label it. So the cat's name is Murgatroyd, so I'm writing Murgatroyd and pre-med. And then today is October the 6th, so I'll write the date and my initials. So that is the close-up of my syringe. And then this is the label on my syringe. And then I just have to do my cleanup as well. So I'm gonna cap my needles. All of my garbage will go in the garbage. And then I'll put my sharps away. And then all of my meds, I'm just gonna put back in their boxes and put into the drug cupboard. Okay, so this is our feline patient, Murgatroyd. He's here for a neuter today. He is a young kitty, so he's a bit squirmy, but we're gonna towel wrap his front half and have him in lateral. This is my clinic mentor, Julie. So I'm going to be doing a quadricep IM injection today. So I'm gonna hold from the cranial side of his leg, yeah. And then I'm going to inject into his quadricep muscle right here. So I'm gonna prepare my syringe on the side. We would give him a licky treat or something, but he's going for surgery, so we can't give him any food. So I'll be poking right there. So with my bevel up, I'm injecting at a 45-degree angle, drawing back, checking for air or blood, and then injecting. And then I'll massage it as he runs away. Okay, so I am preparing to do my IM injection on a canine patient today. So I have my supplies drawn up, I have my Dexdom and my Torb, and I have my syringes. So I'm going to be using 1 cc syringes with 25 gauge needles on it to draw off the medication, and then I'm going to combine them in a 3 cc syringe for the actual injection. So I'm going to start with my Dexdom. So I have my syringe. And I am just ensuring that there is a good date on my Dexdom, which there is. And then I'm going to alcohol swab the top of the vial. And for my Dexdom, I need 0.83 of a mil. And then I'm going to label this. So my patient's name is Abby. And I'm just gonna write that this is Dexdom quickly. So I will show you up close. That is 0.83 of a mil. And then my label for Abby's Dexdom. And then my second syringe will be for the Torb. So Torb, I need 0.69 of a mil. And now I will label Abby Torb. So this is 0.69 of a mil. And then just Abby Torb. So now I'm going to combine them into my 3 cc syringe. So I'm going to take the needle off, and then I'm going to put my medication into the syringe after drawing back some air. So now I'm going to put my needle back on, and I'm just going to make sure I get the proper amount. So I placed both of those into my one syringe, and I'll give you a close-up that there are no bubbles. So it's ready for the injection. I'm just going to label it one more time. So for this one, I'm going to write Abby, and her pre-med, and then my initials and the date just as well. So I will show you that label. And then we're ready for our pre-med. So for cleanup, I am just gonna grab all my garbage, and then I'm gonna take the tops off my needles. This is all garbage and shirts. And then my meds I'll just put back in the drug cupboard. So we are going to do our IM injection today on my canine patients. So I'm here with my clinic mentors, Roberta and Dr. Dick. This is our patient, Abby. So I'm going to be injecting into her quadricep muscle today. So I'm first going to prepare my needle and syringe to the side. So I'm going to come from the cranial side of the leg, and I'm going to isolate that muscle here, the quadricep. And then I'm going to be just poking proximal to the stifle. So I'm going to be aiming for about here. So with my bevel up, I'm going to be inserting at about a 45-degree angle into that muscle. And then I'm going to draw back to check for air, and I don't have, so I am injecting. And then I'm going to rub that area for her comfort, and she will be ready for her x-rays.